It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision for the people you were called to serve. And today, the one and only Alonzo will be talking about music technology, why it's important, how you can use it in your community, and how you can use it in your business. I can't wait to talk about that. Alonzo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, by the way, and thank all the viewers for tuning in. You have a lot of choices, and you choose to be with us, so thank you so much. Let's start off this real simple if we can. What is music technology? And people might want to know what in the LL Cool J is it? And why should small business owners even care about it?
Well, music technology is really is used for many different things in many different ways, and when you have music just in business in any factor, it's always adding to everything, the entire backdrop of your entire, you know, basic business. So it can really drive, customers in a number of different ways, whether it's emotionally or what have you. So music is always great to have within your business, whether it's on your website or whether you're using it in a commercial, what have you. So music is always great. Now, the direction the industry is currently moving in, as far as technology, with AI and a lot of different factors that are contributing to the music industry today, um, it's very important because there's a big debate between whether AI should even be used within the music industry. There's a lot of people who are afraid that AI is going to be taking over the jobs of the creators, but there are other ways that AI and technology can be used in the music industry. And one way in which my company, Zobe Lab, is utilizing AI is really as an assistant to help, to guide, to teach. And it's not taking the job of the actual creator. So, yeah, AI is important. Music technology is important. Music overall is a driving factor to my life, and I'm sure many others.
I love it. And you talked about folks being concerned about AI and how it impacts. But I'm curious if we took a step back, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into his backstory, his background, how famous he is. You see all the wonderful awards on his wall behind him and all that cool stuff. But if we step back for a moment, I guess the question I would have is how is music technology helping, let's call them independent artists today, win? Like they're winning today in ways they couldn't have won back when Christ was here, when I was a little kid. And I'm joking, 1,000 years ago, back in the '70s. But in all seriousness, how are artists winning today in ways they could never have done this 10, 20, 30 years ago?
Really, with the creation of AI and implementing it within the industry, it's allowing music artists to form new ways of creating their music. Um, the AI has the capability of enhancing music styles in so many different ways. The AI comes in and it can help you to not just create the music itself, but it can help you to mix, it can help you to master the music, it can find ways to enhance the music overall. So it can make it more clear. It can change up various aspects of the music as you input it and output it. So it's really in a place to where it can do basically anything at this point, and it's always constantly growing and expanding. And there's so many different companies who are working in AI now. And for this industry, it can be something that can really make an impact if it's utilized the right way.
I love it, by the way, and I think it's a good time. We'll slow down, but I'm curious before we get to your backstory. I know y'all are curious. Some of you already read his bio. I get that, and others you haven't. But I promise we'll get to it in just a moment. But I'm curious, what was your turning point during your journey where you said, you know what, I'm all in on this music technology stuff. Like I'm all in. I'm going to follow it. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to establish a global brand, which you've been able to do. What was that turning point where you jumped all in and said, yeah, this is for me? I'm just curious, by the way.
Well, I've really been very much into technology pretty much most of my life. So it's something that has always followed me. However, when I really saw that the industry had the issue between AI and really being able to utilize it for good, and then there also being a way as where people consider it bad because it takes away from the actual creator. And when it comes down to AI actually creating music and making money off of AI music, and some people call it a cheat code. It's not really where the industry was. It's of course where the industry is going in the future, but people don't like change. That's a fact. People do not like change, but it's kind of inevitable at this point. AI is not going anywhere, so we have to find the best way to really be able to deal with it in a way that it works for everyone. So I think that turning point for me was really just seeing that there was a need for AI to be used in a way that is a little better than how it has been used in the past.
I love it. I mean, well said. I think it's a good time for us to slow down and, ask the questions on everyone's mind. Shay, what is Alonzo's backstory? Who is he? The question, what's your backstory that led you to being so passionate about what you're doing now? So take us on that journey, man.
Wow. I think it really begins as a child. I kind of grew up, in this industry. Um, Grew up in a household surrounded by instruments. So I played about 10 different instruments growing up. I was vocally trained and coached, played in a number of different bands, different genres of music. But as I mentioned earlier, music has always been around. It's been the backdrop of my life. So there was always a record being spun in my household. There was always music being played. My parents, their friends were music artists. My parents, they played instruments. So music was always there. And my mom, she's a fashion designer. She's been designing for quite some time. She actually got me started in the entertainment side of the industry as a child model. But she would host these fashion shows and showcases. There would be music performers there. Got to meet a few people in the industry at a young age, and so that really inspired me. And ever since, I would be on assignment, as a model or as a music artist, as an instrumentalist, and people were coming to me asking me for help. They were wondering how it was I was getting paid to do what they were doing for free and for fun and building their portfolios. So I would help them out, give them, contacts, resources, connections, and they would move forward in their careers. Eventually, more and more people started to come to me for help because they saw others being successful. So eventually, that led me to start my own agency. From there, I saw a lot of the voids that talents had, things that they weren't capable of doing on their own, and then I turned those voids into actual services of my company. We began to grow and build and expand further as we move forward. Working with these talents, we eventually started working from local, regional level to more of a national and eventually international level, working with over 1,000 talents within our database system. But there was really an opportunity to where we wanted to offer as much exposure to these talents. And so I really just wanted to focus on different ways we could find exposure for them. So that's why we started Zobe Magazine to do just that. From there, we wanted more of a visual aspect. So we started Zobe Television Network, and we started becoming a YouTube partner, and we did short form content, pushed out their music videos and interviews and things like that. And then from there, now today we're partnered with Roku TV and Fire TV platforms internationally in the household. So we're always growing and expanding and trying to find different ways that we can give exposure to talents. But I was approached by a number of independent record labels. They wanted us to manage the talents they were working with while we handled, you know, they handled the production side of things, we handled the management side of things. So we helped each other to push the artists a little further in their careers, and did that for quite some time until those record labels went out of business. So I was, stuck managing these artists, didn't have all the resources they needed. So I decided to go ahead and fill that void as well. And so I started Zobe Records, went to every single music event that I could find, every seminar, every conference. I was there networking, meeting people, and we picked up our major label distribution deal, and we started our own music publishing company as well. From there, it was really an opportunity for us to, start finding artists that we can develop. So I had a local regional event competition, brought about 50 artists to the stage. From there, they performed. The very last artist to reach that stage, we signed on the spot. They were amazing. So within about 3 months, I had them sitting at the table in New York City with a major label, and they offered them a deal. So I found I was able to really take talent to that next level pretty quickly. And so that's what I did time after time, working with a handful of talents from around the world. And we've been able to help them, get their music on the radio worldwide, build up their fan bases, win international awards, get to the top of the Billboard charts, and even most recently get considered for Grammy nomination. So we're really just looking to do as much as we can to help talents. And that's pretty much all I've been doing my entire career, just helping people. So that's why we started Zobe Lab. And Zobe Lab is a music tech app. We've really been developing it to be able to help as many people as possible around the world to be able to take their careers to the next level within the music industry. So there's a lot that I can get into there, but
Well,
I've
I
already
mean,
said
first of all,
enough.
that was totally amazing. It gave us a good backstory, and not to put you on the spot, but a lot of folks who are entrepreneurs. I guess we are independent artists now because some people are content creators, some people are using this for their business, and I'm curious. You've been doing this a lot of years. Again, an unfair question because people are different places, different spaces, but I'm curious, what are some of the mistakes that you see the independent artists are making in today's time that you said, you know what, you're trying to use the technology, but here are some mistakes you've seen them make that, if you're watching that right now, he might save you a few pit holes you're going into because he's seen one or two mistakes that are pretty common that some artists make that they're not aware of it when you're an independent artist. So the question is, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see independent artists making today? You're not talking about 10 years ago or 50 years ago. You're talking about, no, in today's world, this is something that's common. What would you say to that person that's watching now?
Well, it really comes down to knowing the direction that you need to go. That's a big piece to the puzzle that a lot of people do not understand how to actually maneuver within the industry. Um, what should you do before you actually start releasing music? There's so many different things that people just don't know. They're clueless. So you can do as much research online. You may find, some information here, some information there, um, some tutorials, but really having the industry knowledge and background behind you is what really comes down to. So having someone that can work with you and that can help you navigate those things is ideal. So a lot of people believe they can do it on their own, and that's a big problem nowadays because it really takes a lot to make the right moves in this industry. It's not the easiest industry to delve into. So uh, I would say a big piece to the puzzle that independent talents can do now is to utilize ways to find people who can help them move their career forward. Um, it really comes down to having that knowledge. And that's why we created Zobe Lab with Zobe Academy as the foundation of what talents need to really get to that next level in their career. Having that knowledge and that education behind them is why we created Zobe Lab. And it's an opportunity to which we are actually providing them with mentors if they join our company and work with us. We're providing them, we have over 50 music professional experts who are partnered with us within our platform. Our platform is available on Google Play and Apple App Stores. And we have just soft launched the product about 5 months ago. And we're doing pretty well. There's a lot of people who have taken advantage of the opportunity to work with us. There's been thousands of downloads every week. We have over 50,000 downloads on Apple and Google Play stores. So we're really making some progress there, but there's a lot of different things that independent artists should know before they even get started, before they even record anything. There's so many things that they should know. So having that information and someone that can help guide you and mentor you is very important.
I love it. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for being so authentic and so transparent. One of the things that I was amazed by is I said, wait a minute, this person's really ZobeLab is mixing, helping solve a problem in music, which is, I think is important. Tech, which is important. That's another phase to my life. And then education. I'm like, well, of these
Yes.
three, which one is he most passionate about solving? Are they all three equal, or is one you're more passionate about? I'm just curious.
Well, music has always been my thing, but education is very important overall. So having that knowledge is key. And it's really about who you know and what you know. So I love technology, but just music overall is my heart.
That makes that makes a whole lot of sense, and you're right on target. And as you were saying that, the next question I have, and this is just Shay Brown. What was one of the challenges you had? We have a segment here called "Today is my January 1st." Now, some of you know what we're about to do. You've seen this before, and thank you for tuning in. And for those that are watching for the very first time, today is my January 1st is our personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is, or how bright and sunny that past is, the past no longer equals the future. And so my question for the one and only Alonzo on the other side, so he's talking about all the problems and challenges others had, is when was a time in his business or his career that he had a setback, that he had a challenge, and how were you able to bounce back from it?
Okay. Well, I would say one challenge that I've had in this industry is really being able to find the right person to work with or to mentor you. Um, there are people who are in this industry who will take advantage of you. And that is a hurdle that I want to make sure that other people do not have to deal with. Um, so I experienced that within this industry where someone ended up taking advantage of my company, and we had some great artists that we were working with, and they presented me with an opportunity to work with them and join together to work forward with helping the artist get to that next level. And it really did not work out the way that I expected. um, there were pretty much there was someone who came in and they wanted to sign one of my artists to a major label, and that situation ended up where the artist got stolen from my company, and it was a situation to where it really makes you think twice about who you work with, doing a lot more research about those people and understanding who they are, their background, and really getting a feel for someone's character. Um, that's it's very important to really know who you're doing business with and to actually understand where they come from and how they have done business in the past. So that's a big part to what I learned from that situation. And there have been other situations as well in which, in my past, as I've grown within the industry, you've had to learn the hard way how to do things because
Mm.
there wasn't a Zobe lab or Zobe Academy to teach you, various things. And a lot of, the industry has been, behind closed doors, and it's very hard to, open those doors to those opportunities. So there have been some people in the industry that have taken advantage of music artists and others within the industry who may not have all the resources and tools available to them. So that's really why I developed my company, to be able to help as many people to bypass all of the issues and problems that I've come across in my journey.
Well said, by the way. Thanks for all you're doing. Um, as you was talking about that in your journey, I'm curious, what does success look like for you these days? What does it even feel like?
Success for me is really being able to take an artist from nothing and to build up their career and get them as much exposure as possible, and for them to be happy and to where they are within their career. That is success for me. um, I believe that, no matter how many of, these plaques I have on the wall, I think success really comes down to being able to change someone's life for the better. That is success for me.
And one of my favorite questions I ask when we have a few minutes, we got a couple minutes now, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? I like to frame it for you so the audience understands. You've had a lot of mentors along this journey. Talk about your mom and fashion and how you got to where you are now. But if you had to look back and say, here's one of the best pieces of advice that's ever been given to me that you want to pass to the audience, what would it be and why?
Well, I would have to say that the best piece of advice that I can provide would be to never give up. There has been many, many, many chances in which, you know, people have given up on their careers, or whether they have given up on their dreams. Uh, I would say just keep moving forward, because, you never know when things may change in your favor. As long as you keep on going and you stay true to who you are and stay on the right path towards your dreams, your goals, set milestones for yourself so that you can, grow over time. Um, the small things can really matter and make a big difference. So if you set small milestones for you to be able to reach those larger ones later, that will really help you along the way. So yeah, just set those small milestones, accomplish those, take your time. You don't have to rush. It will come to you if it's meant to be. So I would say definitely just keep on pushing.
Keep on going. Never give up. Never give out. I
Yep.
love it, by the way. Keep on trucking. Um, what do you do for fun? When you're not out helping artists, we're not out playing music, we're not out doing fashion, we're not out educating folks, we're not out just saving the world. What do you do for fun these days?
Well, I travel.
Okay,
That's
okay,
something
that's
that,
that's a
that
good
I,
one.
I like to do. I like, going over to the Caribbean. I like, the sun. I like being by the water. I like to, find new places that I've never been. That's something that I enjoy. But, music is always something. So I will always, keep an instrument around, and I can play an instrument anytime. It really just takes my mind away. But I also do some meditation and things like that to just, bring my mind to a place to where, I can really just come down from all of the work that I do on a regular basis. But yeah, I enjoy, movies, film. I enjoy a lot of different things, just going to new restaurants and trying new foods. So yeah, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I love the travel part and trying new foods. That's super amazing. Well, let me say two things. Number one, as we come down the home stretch, where can folks best connect with you? And number two, what type of clients are you even looking to work with these days? I'm not sure if you're taking on any additional clients. What type of clients are you looking to work with these days? So where should they go? Is there a website? Is there a place? What should they do?
Oh yeah, most definitely. You can always find me on social networks, whether it is Instagram, TikTok, or X, or what have you. So I'm always available. Um, you can reach me at zobelab.com. That's ZOBELAB.com. Tells you all about, Zobe Lab and what we do, who we are, and you can go to zobeentertainment.com as well, give you further breakdown on everything else that we have going on as far as Zobe Records and Zobe Fashions, Zobe Models and Talents, Zobe Magazine, etc. So yeah, you can check me out there, and I would say as far as reaching out to me, the different clients that I'm looking to work with at this time. Uh, I'm looking to work with pretty much anyone who's interested in Zobe Lab. So you can actually download the application and you can find me directly in the app, whereas I am available for sessions for mentoring talent within the application. So if you need to reach me, you can reach me there. Um, Other than that, always available via email. You'll find that on our website.
Well, let me say two things. Number one, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Can't wait to have you back again soon.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you. Thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Without you, well, we wouldn't have a show. So we appreciate you showing up. Appreciate you being here. So I always like to share every night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I never get tired, by the way, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're doing really, really well and there's another level of success you're getting to, or you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe is that today is your January 1st. Because of just that one reason, I still believe your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. That being said, my name is Shay Brown. I'm out. Peace. We'll see you on the other side. God bless. Bye-bye.